All right, I think we're live. My chat window here. There we go. All right, you guys can hear me? No, we're not singing this stream, so no singing. The various chat commands don't work because I'm doing this on my phone, but we're going to be doing some cooking. No, I'm not that kind of cook. I'm not throwing flour everywhere. Gormfield's going to be fine. He's supervising. And by supervising, I mean hi and just sitting there. So welcome on in, guys. This is going to be interesting. I've never tried this before. I've cooked this before, obviously, but never done it on stream. So, of course, my hands are clean. Yes, already done that. So, went and got what I needed from the store already. We're all set up here. While people are coming to chat, I'm going to go ahead and gather the various things out of the cupboards that I'm going to need. No, we're not doing a sleeping stream. Don't worry. Gormfield's got the emergency tape, yeah. All about that space, good to see you. Dr. Cat, welcome on in. Kevin, hello. Cream Cheese, good to see you. Don't tempt him, that's right. So let me know if there's any issues with the audio. I think it'll be fine. Typically when I've done this, walking around like Expo and stuff, you guys can usually hear me pretty good. So considering we don't have any kind of serious background noise, I don't expect it to be an issue. Sim says, don't bloom the yeast yet, please and thanks. So this recipe doesn't call for yeast. There will be no yeast in this recipe. As you can see, as I posted the, we're not blooming any yeast. There's no yeast. Vega Blue Sky and Monster SD. No yeast, so he doesn't have to worry. Tell him to land his stupid Comanche and get over here. I'm not going to start just yet. We're going to give it some time for some people to come in and get in here, since we don't have any kind of like intro or anything. So just the yeast between his toes. That's disgusting. No, his Comanche is stupid. Mine is amazing. So anyway, while people are working on coming in, I'm going to be gathering the various things. So as I put in the recipe notification, it's going to call for some flour, some sugar. We need baking powder and baking soda. You're going to need some white corn syrup, which the brand that I have, I always just refer to it as K-Row because that's the brand. That's this here, product placement, everybody. There's the corn syrup. This is I went and got some more because it says here I need a third cup, and it says there's the 1 cup mark is like right there, and it's like that may be a third of it left. I'm not sure, but I wanted to be safe, so we'll have that just in case. I've got a whole full one just in case I need it. And the baking powder and the baking soda. Get that in there right there. And then we're going to need all kinds of, you just need it calls for a 1/4 teaspoon or a scant amount of a whole bunch of little seasonings. And that is cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice, cloves, black pepper, and anise oil. And I think that's it. I may have missed one. But I've got the recipe, so it doesn't matter. I'll remember it. So we've got our good old McCormick spices here. We got some cloves, we've got some allspice, black pepper. We got the we got the ground cinnamon right there. We got the ginger and the allspice. Don't worry, it doesn't have a soul. Inside joke. And the weird one is anise oil extract, not anise oil extract. I want to be very clear. But this will actually we'll give it a kind of a licorice slight taste to it. This very much smells like licorice, is what the anise oil extract does. So you don't want a lot of it though, just a very scant amount. We're also going to need some shortening. You can also use margarine. I have shortening here from Crisco. That's right there. Let's see, what else are we missing? We're going to need an egg, and we're going to need some sour cream. And milk, but I'm going to leave the milk in the fridge until I get to that point, because I don't want to have my milk left out for a long time. But I will grab the egg that we're going to need. Will Moose actually have pants on this stream? I do have pants on. I always have pants on. I'll have you know. I am never bottomless. That's weird. And the primary reason for that is because you never know when you're going to have a camera malfunction and it's going to suddenly show something it shouldn't, and that would be bad. So, get your hands out of the flour until I get there. Hurry up, Caesar. I can only stall for so long. There is flour, Dr. Cat. There's a whole bunch of it. Just 4.5 cups of it. Right there. And actually, it's more than that. Actually, I think it's 4. No, it's 4.5. It's exactly 4.5 cups. Usually says... Yeah, there's definitely flour. Sleazy does again. Welcome on in. Kelsey, good to see you. Welcome on in, guys. We can plume the yeast now. There is no yeast. Do you pack the flour or no? I do not pack it, but I don't just like... I like shave the top of it off. So it's like mild compaction, I guess you could say. I know there's a whole bunch of... I guess theoretically the way to do flour realistically is to weigh it. I'm not about that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Brandon NUC, good to see you. We're currently still dancing over at Sim Caesar's place. Only a matter of minutes till we all come over here. All right, I'm stalling as long as I can. The yeast was bloomed, for the record. The yeast was bloomed and many, many things. All right, so I've got chat up on my computer over here so I can see more of it because it kind of goes away on my phone after a while. Let's see here. Moose, I need you. Ah, funny. funny. The other thing I need is another bowl, which... Oh, where did my big bowl go? Well. Oh, it's over here. It's over here. Rinse this guy real quick. He's been sitting out on the counter, collecting a little bit of dust probably. Don't want the recipe does not call for dust, so we're going to try and keep that out of it. This bowl that you'll see in a second, but I'm drying it off with a towel at the moment. So this one was one of my mother's bowls. She's still alive, don't worry. Right there. And when I moved out, she was getting some new stuff, and so she asked if there's anything I wanted. And I specifically requested this set of bowls. And the reason why, when I was growing up, the outside of this reminds me of like cookie dough. It like looks like cookie dough. I mean, granted, not the design, but the look of the rest of it. So that's what we had when I was growing up, so it's kind of sentimental for me. So I like those. I had to get a rise out of you. More yeast jokes that aren't in the recipe. I can't wait to see the step where the tape dispenser is needed. The tape dispenser is not needed. That's there because there's some stuff on the counter that we just keep on the counter. So she's not dead. She's still with us. I got them when I moved out. She's not dead. She's not dead yet. In fact, I will see her tomorrow. So let's see. We love Pyrex. That's right. Spoilies? No spoilies. Is there a knife next to Cornfield? No, that's scissors. And probably in his hands equally as dangerous. Because, you know. Beware running with scissors. It's all good fun until someone loses an eye. So, Muppet Treasure Island quote. That's why it sounds funny. Right. Yeah, no, sorry. Savings aren't going to work. None of the weird chat commands are going to work because this is on my phone. So, it's not going to fly. I've seen Gormfield with a tape dispenser. It wasn't pretty. I'll bet you have. I'll bet you have. Oh, good. Fly Dr. Cat redeemed the word ban for the one word I'm tired of saying anyway because we don't have it in the recipe. So, haha. That takes care of that. All right. We're coming up on 10 minutes since the start of the stream, so I'd like to get going here in just a second. No need to keep the people waiting forever. No need to keep them waiting forever. So while we're sitting here, if you have any questions, if I use hydrate, would you add water to the mix? No. No. No, I will not. And there's no point in using it anyway because you can't see me on stream. I mean, you can see my hands, but beyond that. You should paper mache a little hat for Cornfield. Well, if I knew how to paper mache, maybe I would, but that's not a skill that I possess. Kitchen tour. I mean, it's a kitchen. It's nothing really to look at. There's my computer over there. There's the sink where the washing up happens. My toaster. I love this toaster. This is new. I bought this recently. This is where I make my bagels when I have bagels for breakfast sometimes. It's lovely. It's the pantry, the refrigerator. That way lies the laundry room, oven, microwave, stove, recipe book, and back to where we are. What a tour. Now I gotta see if I can get the thing back to where I had it. Pretty close. Look at that. Like a pro. Like a pro. How about stretch? No, I'm not stretching the dough. My kitchen in my apartment is bigger than this. Well, maybe so, but I don't care. It doesn't need to be huge. As bachelors, we don't spend a tremendous amount of time in the kitchen, and it looks smaller probably on film than it really is. But yeah. Any other questions while we wait for the Caesar show? While we wait for the Caesar show. Dr. Cat, yet it's filled with cat food and what's a bund milk? Is that a Canadian thing? Your milk comes in bags though. That's just weird. I don't understand that nonsense. We don't tolerate that crap over here in the States. He misspelled and. Oh, okay. He really wants to say a boot, and so he put a B in the middle of the and. I get it. That's very Canadian. What's in the bread box? I think bread. That's my roommate's stash of stuff. I don't. It's not mine. There is what do you call it? Hot dog buns in the bread box. Yeah, what's in the box? Give Cornfield a spatula. I think he won't be able to hold the spatula. I give him. You know what? No, because I'm gonna have to use that. So I don't want to have him holding that. The two small things that are in here, I'm gonna have to use, and I don't want to have to wash them after I put them in his paw. Maybe it's right there. There's no spatula right there. You can't see a spatula. I wonder. Oh, you know what? I wonder if there's a little one in here that I won't be using. No. There's a big old spatula, but I don't think he can hold that very well. I think that's not going to work very well. Oh, kind of. There we go. He's holding a spatula. Oh, the raid's incoming. Tape it with the... No, I'm not going to tape anything to him. Buy him a chef coat. What's that for? The spatula? Because we're baking. I don't know. We're not going to use a spatula, but someone said make him hold a spatula, so... I'm a moose of the people. I obliged. That's what I do. That's what the emergency... Oh, I see. I'm not an elk. I'm a moose. I am a moose. There's no elk here. Oh, did the raid happening? There's the raid. Real Tyragoth, Flight Level Riz, Peter Mooney, Monster SD, Center Gravity. You've been here. Welcome on in, Raiders, to my baking stream. House 75, how you doing? Sonic the Revenge. Oh my. Welcome on in, Spundog. Good to see you. Sim, Mr. Egan. Hello. And a whole bunch of ones just went by, but I couldn't see them because they jumped away. Sky Dahadi's coming in with a resub for 31 months. Thank you, Scotty. Very kind of you. Let me look at the computer so I can see what I missed here. Sim Caesar. Oh, that's all the people over here. So there's Sim Caesar. And Sim Caesar gifted a tier 1 to Peter Mooney. And we got a hype train already. Look at that. House 75 gifting a tier 1 to Spundot. We got a hype train. I can't even play the hype train sound because I don't have the ability to do that from my phone. Better make sure Gornfield doesn't slip something in the dough. I know, right? I don't think he has the cognitive ability to do that. So I think we're okay. All right. So for those of you that are just... Oh, Fly Dr. Cat gifting a sub to Moose Cookie? Who the heck is that? Just finding something that's close to moose cooking? That's adorable. Thank you for the gift sub. Yeast was bloomed. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, the yeast bloomed, and it's ruined everything, so stream's canceled. Sorry, guys. No, I'm kidding. But for those of you that are just showing up here with the Sim Caesar crew, again, Sim Caesar, thank you so much for the raid. We are going to be baking a traditional German Mennonite treat called Pfeffernüsse. Use my winning sub for a sub to the real telegraph. Okay. Let me see if I can do that real quick here before Dr. Cat. I'm sure he's going to usurp me here. I'm at a disadvantage. Yep, he got it first. You're gonna have to whisper it to me, Sim, because he's got cat ears, and I can't I can't go fast enough. Thank you, Dr. Cat, for subscribing for Real Goth. That's very nice of you. Yeah, you'll have to whisper it to me. Fastest gifter in the West. It's true. No one gifts like the cat gifts. Okay, so anyway, what we're doing is it's called Pfeffernüsse. In our family, my grandmother, we always called it, and I don't know where this comes from, because I can't find any written record of how you would get to that pronunciation, but we always called it Pfeffernüsse, and it doesn't. I mean, I guess I can kind of see it in the word Pfeffernüsse if you don't know how to pronounce things right, but they grew up speaking German, so I don't understand. But anyway. Do a 100 gift sub bomb to my channel. Oh my gosh, that's a bit much. I don't have that kind of dough. Haha, dough. You see what I did there? There's a flower plant afoot. It's not my feet. Just washed them. Oh dear. Danke for anywho, so this is something my grandmother would make. They lived up in San Jose, in Campbell, actually, which is like the cloves of San Jose, and we would have these. So we would go up there for Thanksgiving. We'd go up there for Christmas, and these would always be in just a big jar, and we would just snack on these all the time. And so at one point, when I was old enough, I asked to be able to get the recipe because I wanted to start making them at home. And I'm glad, because eventually my grandparents got to the point where they couldn't do it anymore and finally passed away. So that tradition, no one else in my family makes this. It's just me now, so I'm the one keeping the tradition on, and now there will be record of it on the interwebs, so it won't die with me if I get hit by a bus tomorrow. So that's nice. So anyway, so it's a little German cookie, German Mennonite treat. If you saw the pictures on Twitter or Instagram or Discord, that's basically a picture of what they look like. That's just a picture I found online, but that's the closest one I could find to what they come out looking like. This is going to be part one of a two-part thing, because we make the dough tonight, and then it has to chill for at least 24 hours. And so sometime next week, because I won't be able to do it tomorrow anyway, I'm way too busy. Sometime next week, we'll do the second half where I show you how we bake them, which is the really simple part, but it's, rolling it out in little bits and cutting them and putting them in the pan and cooking them. They only cook for like about 8 to 9 minutes a piece on the tray, so you can make a lot pretty quick once you have the dough done. So thank you for the bit there, Sim, and thank you guys for kicking off that hype train. That's very kind of you. All right, so with that, let's get started. So you do this in 2 phases, and there's dry ingredients that we're going to do in this bowl here, and then there is the wet ingredients we're going to do here, and then we're going to eventually mix the dry into the wet as we're mixing it. Now, you can do this, obviously. I've got this nice KitchenAid mixer, which I bought a number of years ago. I love my KitchenAid mixer. But if all you have is a little beater thing, you can do that with a hand beater. That's how I used to do it. I'm a hand model, yes. Ooh. Or if you really have to, you could just use like a spatula and stir it together. Although that's going to be really labor intensive. The dough gets very thick, and so you really do want to have some kind of a mixer itself if nothing else. Otherwise, you're going to be, really just going at it. And eventually, you do want to actually hand knead it a little bit before it goes into the Ziploc bag and chills for at least 24 hours. I always find it's better if it chills for a little bit longer than that, but you want to at least chill it in the fridge for 24 hours. So they're a different breed. Ha ha ha. Do you love your KitchenAid mixer? I do. I do. I love lamp too. What can I say? I love lamp. All right. Hype train level 2, 50% complete. Oh, that's awesome, guys. Thank you so much. All right. So with that, we're going to start with the, I'm going to do the dry ingredients first, and then we will get into the wet ingredients. Are there any seeds in this recipe? No, there are not. Went through the recipe already. It's just sugar, shortening, an egg, white corn syrup, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, ginger, allspice, anise oil, and black pepper, flour, sour cream, and milk. That's it. So there's no seeds in it. There's no nuts in it. There's no fruit in it. There's no green beans in it, Kevin. Shaky Tater, you need to bring the cookies to church tomorrow. I can't bring them tomorrow because they won't be ready tomorrow. Only the dough will be ready. But there is a gal in my church. I say gal. She's an older lady. She actually, her husband owns the dentist office that I go to. And a number of years ago, I've always, we used to go in the college group, we'd go to their house one of the nights after we did caroling to some of the old folks' homes. And then we'd end at their house. They have a really nice house out in the country. And we'd all just kind of have dessert over there. Our church staff Christmas party often was hosted over at their house. And really, really neat family. She loves this stuff. And so she's always like begging me to like bring her some. And so I chipped is a fancy word. I shattered a wisdom tooth in my mouth a number of years ago when I didn't have any dental coverage or anything like that. And so I called her at the middle of the night because they're dentists and was like, what do I do? And she's like, well, just come in first thing in the morning and we'll figure out because, you don't have insurance and stuff. So let's figure it out. And so she's like, just bring me a bag of the Pfeffernüsse stuff, the pepper nuts. And so every year at Christmas time, I make a bag just for her, and it's just my like endless payoff of the wisdom tooth thing, which is fun. But she loves it. Her grandkids love it too. So those are asking. In fact, during the pandemic, when we couldn't do that, they were all asking, "Are we gonna get pepper nuts?" She's like, "I don't think so. We're not seeing him right now because we're all locked away everywhere." So it was funny. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start with the dry ingredients first, and that means the flour comes first. So you're going to need, obviously, the 1 cup and a ½ cup measurement. Yes, for all of you Canadians, deal with it. We're dealing with cups and ounces and feet and inches and all that nonsense, so you just have to live with it. But it's 4½ cups of flour. And this is always fun because, you don't want to suddenly lose count because it takes a while to fill up the dumb cup. And again, it doesn't have to be extraordinarily precise, just enough to get the idea of. So that's 1. Real baking is done more as a feel anyway than it is an exact science. So all of you people that are like diehards, I measure I weigh my ingredients. You know what? No one cares. That's 2. I'm seeing timber in my stream. What is this? 2 cups in the dish. 1 shark in the water. 2 sharks in the water. Let's do a little more of that. All right, so that's 3. We got 1 more cup and then a ½ cup. And again, this is just regular all-purpose flour. Doesn't have to be a special kind of flour. Just all-purpose is fine. It says sifted. I don't really sift it, and it's never been a problem. So it technically calls for sour milk as well, and I've never used sour milk. I've always used just regular milk, and again, it comes out fine. So, all right, there's 4 cups. So we'll do the ½ cup. cup. There. And there's the half cup. Beautiful. All right, so the flour is done. We'll move that to the back. Bleached. It is bleached flour, but you can do whatever you want, I guess. But I've always used the regular bleached all-purpose flour. It's fine. All right, so next up we got the baking powder and the baking soda. This is, as I look at my recipe here, 1 teaspoon apiece. So I gotta grab our teaspoon. Should have brought all these out already, but whatever. So for those of you that are not used to teaspoons, tablespoons, big T is tablespoon, TSP is teaspoon, smaller. Be aware of that. It's important. There's a difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon. So baking soda, bloop, and baking powder. Bloop. Baking soda and baking powder are done. This reminds me of when my family makes lots of unique foods for our Christmas Eve party. Yeah, this is a tradition of mine. I do this prior to Thanksgiving every year, and I make a couple more batches throughout Christmas. So this is my kind of thing that I do. All right, so then we've got the last thing for the dry ingredients is all the little scant amounts. So we've got the nutmeg, ginger, cinnamon, allspice. The only thing we're not going to do with that is the anise oil. We'll do that into the wet ingredients at the very end. So I'm going to put that aside. But these are all 1/4 teaspoon, so it's a very small amount of these guys. So we'll start with the nutmeg here. And I'll put them aside after I do them so I don't forget that I did it already. So a little bit of nutmeg goes over there. A little bit of ginger in my life. A little bit of something else by my side. There's the nutmeg. Or sorry, ginger rather. Alright, we got some cloves. A little bit of cloves. Some allspice. There we go. That's the only reason I have anise oil, is for this. That is the only reason. I have never used anise oil in anything but this recipe. So, and some cinnamon, and finally the black pepper. The black pepper. That's not gonna work. Oh, where's the? Oh, it's over here. Ah, yes. There we go. Black pepper. All right, that is all of the dry ingredients done. So now we're going to stir that up and just use my little whisk right here. And we're just going to whisk the ingredients together to make a relatively mixed up dry ingredient seasoning thing. This actually reminds me, I worked at KFC for like 1.5 years when I was 16. And this reminds me of we get the packets of the seasoning for the original recipe and the crispy recipe that we'd have to then like roll the chicken in before we put it in the pressure fryer. And this reminds me of that. No, I don't know what the what is it, 21 herbs and spices or whatever it is they use, because it was just a packet, so we didn't know. But I haven't eaten at KFC probably since then, because I ate so much at KFC when I worked there I can't eat it anymore. So there you go. Wasn't terrible. Is it terrible now? Like I said, I haven't been there forever, so look at him, then look at me, look again, then look at me. But let's see. It's not anise oil, it's anise oil. Caesar. Apparently, he says it gives it. Yeah, it does. It has a very licoricey scent to it. Let's see. What explains a lot? What does KFC have to do? That was when I was 16. That was 25 years ago. Kentucky Fried Moose. It's expensive, oily, and dirty. Ew. Most of it's free-dried stuff. Yeah, probably. Okay, so we're going to move on now. We're going to set this aside, and we're going to move on to the wet ingredient side. So the idea is first we cream the shortening and the sugar together. So the shortening is 1/2 cup, and I believe this is a full cup by itself. Or is it the 1/2 cup? No, it's, yeah. So 1/2. So we got to cut this in half, and then we'll use the other half of it for later on in the when I make more of this during the December part of the year. So these are very convenient. You can obviously buy shortening in the big tubs, but you can also get them in these little sticks like this, which I love. It's just like butter then. And I just need to cut that in half. I'll use my knife that I will not share with Gormfield. So 1/2 cup right about there. Basically cutting it in half. There we go. You can go back in there. Come on. Get your butt in there. And we'll put that away for later. And this now we will dump into our mixing bowl. Get your butt in there. There we go. Beautiful. All right. And then we do the the sugar with it, and we're going to cream them together. So that is 1 1/3 cup plus a tablespoon of sugar. It's very confusing. But 1 1/3 cup of sugar plus 1 more tablespoon of sugar. So here's our sugar. Doesn't matter if there's flour residue, it's all going to get mixed together eventually anyway. So 1 cup of sugar. Or lard, that's true. So the recipe says you can use shortening or margarine. I would assume lard would do a similar thing, because lard is very similar. There we go, that's 1 cup. So it's 1 1/3 cup. And that's my half, so I need to grab my 1/3 cup. Just bring these guys out here. So there's my 1/3. There we go. 1/3 cup, and then 1 tablespoon. Confirm that, yeah, 1 tablespoon. Voila. There we go, and that is the sugar done and dusted. All right, so with the beauty of the mixer here, we can cream it together quite nicely. Just stick that guy in there, lock it in. And it will start to cream up. Basically, as the shortening breaks down and mixes with the sugar, it'll go into smaller and smaller pieces until it kind of forms a nice blend. Oh, it's Sky Command and Factual Gull here. Hello, welcome to my cooking simulator. Basically, just gonna run this until it's as close to a small consistency as we can get it. We're going to add the corn syrup here in a second, and that'll really make it into more of a goo. Cooking is a loose term. Well, it's really more of a baking stream, because I'm not cooking so much, but yeah. Alright, that should be good. Trying to get the thing in the back there. So lift that guy up. We can shake out the residue here, get it all in the deal. And I'll use my spatula to knock any bits that got stuck to the side. All right. So the next thing we do, cream, shortening, sugar, beat in an egg. So the egg is next. And for that, I need a little bit of the trash can over here because it's going to make a mess with the shell otherwise. Actually, I'm just going to get this guy out of the way temporarily. These are nice because they stand on their own, so you can just kind of put them out of the way. Come on, don't be a jerk. There we go. Excellent. So, funny story about the egg. So, as a white elephant gift, I don't know if you guys remember seeing these. This would have been from when I was in college. So this is like 20 years ago. And they had these things called, in fact, do I have it somewhere? I just don't use it anymore because it's just, is it back here? No. I'm sure I have it somewhere. It's probably in a box somewhere. It was called the Easy Cracker, I think it was. And it was literally a thing you put the egg in, and it held it in there, and then you clipped it, and it like had these little blades that went in and separated the egg and the whole thing. They were hilarious, and I got it as a white elephant gift for a Christmas party back in college, and so I used it for like 5 years with that thing, and then finally I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to crack eggs normally, but it worked. It was kind of cool. We have another hype train coming in here or something? Oh no, that's hype train complete. There we go. Sorry, my phone is... Oh, it's just talking about the complete. I guess I need to swipe it to get rid of it. Can I? Okay, whatever. I swiped it and then something else happened. Okay. So we got to beat in the egg. So to beat in said egg, put this little attachment back on here. La 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 la. There we go. And we will beat in the egg. At this stage, we are now making yellow snow. Don't eat the yellow snow. All right, so now is much more creaming together now as a result of the egg acting as a binder. Fancy cooking word there. And we are now going to add the corn syrup, which is a 1/3 cup, I believe. Yes. So where's my 1/3? There you is. This stuff it's corn syrup, so it's liquid sugar, so it's very, very thick. Very thick. And Kevin, you'll appreciate it. It's white corn syrup, so it's racist. May not have been quite 1/3. We'll see here. It's still coming. That's pretty close, but not quite. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the new bottle. Just top it off a little bit. Take the freshness seal off of it here. There we go. And then we got to sit here and hold this for a while, because again, it takes a while to all drip out. Yeah, safe in moderation, just like mercury. Like glucose, either love it or hate it, but it's basically in almost everything. Yeah, pretty much. The seal to make sure your syrup stays fresh for 2 years. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And this is why I kind of wanted to top it off and overfill it even just a little bit, because not all of it's going to come out. It's going to be a fair amount that stays in the measuring cup. That just, without like heating it, it's not going to be runny enough to really make its way out. That's probably about as good as it's going to get. Get some hot water going, so I'm going to need that 1/3 cup again. I don't want all the corn syrup stuck in there for later. Alright, so we're done with the corn syrup. And we can now mix that in. Mixing in the corn syrup. I don't need a spatula. It's fine. It's mostly out. Just a little patience. Just the urge to use your fingers to get the last bit out of the cup. You'll have it in your fingers for base of it. I know. That's why I'm not going to do that. And I don't ever do it light way because I know better. Okay, so as you can see now, we have a very nice creamy mixture ready for some gorm syrup. Ew, I don't want to know. All right, so at this point, now we're ready to stir the dry ingredients together. So, we're going to add alternatively some dry ingredients, and then we'll add the sour cream. We'll add some more dry ingredients. We'll add the milk, and as well as the anise extract. In fact, I'm going to add the anise extract now before I forget. I did that one year. I completely forgot to add the anise extract. And that was sad. They did not taste right. I can already smell the licorice smell. There we go. Get that in there. All right, I'm going to mix that up a little bit with the anise. There we go. Thoroughly mixed. Thoroughly mixed. All right, so now at this point, we're going to stir in some dry ingredients. I might, if he doesn't try to pour more corn syrup. These cookies are going to be done in time for Christmas. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is going slower because I'm demonstrating it, so I'm going to add a good amount. We're not putting it all in. We're just going to add a good amount of the dry ingredients. And when it becomes too thick, we'll switch to the beater style here. Always a tip for you young people that have never cooked before, when adding flour or some other kind of really like poofy material, make sure you turn the beater on slowly until it has a chance to mix in or it will explode. And it's starting to get pretty thick. It's clumping. It's clumping. All right, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and switch. When we put in the sour cream here, we're going to switch to the beater style. I'm going to take this one out. Out of there, you. And so we need a 1/3 cup sour cream, I believe. Yes. So, Daisy, Daisy. If you don't get that reference, that's 2001: A Space Odyssey. It was Hal's favorite song, The Computer. I'm sorry, Dave. I just can't do that. Get a spoon. Spoon that out with. In our 1/3 cup. There we go. All right, so we're going to go to this guy now, so it's getting thicker, and we'll let it do the mixing. We'll mix it up with sour cream, and then we'll add the rest of the dry ingredients. Try and kind of help it get it off the walls. Alright, and we will now add the last of the dry ingredients. And then we'll add the milk, and then we'll mix it one last time. And that one will get it into a nice, thick, doughy consistency. Just gonna steer that guy out of the way for the moment. Go. Just going to mix all that flour in. It's going to start to struggle, and that's fine. Let it struggle. Oh, sorry, yeah, Julia Child, I should be doing that. And then you dip it into the dough, and we get the little bit of consistency, and it's just lovely and floury. I'm going to get the milk now. We got to add the milk. 1/4 cup of milk is what it calls for. That's 1/4 cup. Where's my 1/4 cup? That's 1/4 cup right there. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Go over there. There we go. All right, a little bit of milk. You see how the dough is starting to congeal up and become kind of a solid ball, which is excellent. It's what we want. The machine is basically, kneading it for us at this point, which is cool. And this is how you know you've done it right. You use the right level, because it should do this. If it's too wet and too mushy, it won't kind of congeal like this. And if it's too dry, it won't congeal either. It will just be liquid. It'll be a bunch of little pieces, which also is not good. But this is fantastic. It's exactly what I want to see. Stand back, she's about to explode. I'm not wet, but I am a little mushy. What happens if you turn the KitchenAid up to 9? Nothing good happens. It gets a little out of control. That's about as high as I think I want to turn it up. It sounds like one of Willy Wonka's everlasting gobstopper machines now. Alright, so what we'll do is I'm going to take this thing out of it. We'll use the spatula to kind of arrest it from itself here. Alright. Again, important to have washed your hands, because now we are going to actually knead this a little bit with our hands to kind of really get it in the consistency that we need it. Because it is still a bit sticky. And that's okay, as long as it's a little sticky. In fact, I'm going to kind of get some of this off the floor. Well, that has never happened before. Alright. I don't know my own strength. It's very tough dough. Yeah, I've had that spatula for a long time. Time for a new one. That is hilarious. Alright. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get a Ziploc bag. Nice big one. Yeah, it happens the best, exactly. Well, I don't have a wife, Quas, so tell away. I am a bachelor. Why do you think I have time to scream? There we go. Look at that. Look at that gloriousness. So that is the makings of Pfeffernüsse. I'm going to stick that in there. There's a little bit extra here we'll throw in as well. And so we'll move this out of the way. Watch out, Gormfield. And we're going to knead it a little bit actually in the bag here, leaving a little bit of air open so it doesn't pop the Ziploc. But this is a much cleaner way to knead it, because then you're not getting your hands full of dough. And again, we're just kneading it a little bit around, help stiffen it up, do final mixing. Is this even on camera? Yeah. Yeah, it's shake and bake, exactly. Shake and bake, baby. All right. That is the consistency I like. Bingo. So that now is going to go into the fridge, and it's going to chill for, in my case, more than 24 hours, because I'm not doing this tomorrow. The dough is superbly relaxed. Exactly. What I wouldn't give it to be that dough right now. Calm down. I'm pretty sure the Corningware bowl is the oldest thing in the Moose house. Yes, probably is. It probably is. Okay, so here's what's going to happen next. So I don't have, I mean, in a perfect world, I would have had chilled dough, so we could move right into the cooking step, but I didn't think this far ahead. So, so what happens next now is after it chills, we're going to do this on stream, don't worry. But it's just in case for some of you that want to know and won't be back for the stream whenever that happens. I don't know if that's going to be Monday or it might even be Wednesday. Typically, I would do this on Wednesday after I get off work. But so I might do that. I might do it Wednesday evening because then it's right before Thanksgiving. So, but what's going to happen is we would basically take little pieces of that dough. We'll let it sit for a little while to kind of so it's not ice cold. You don't want it to be freezing cold because it makes it hard to roll out. So you want it to kind of solidify, melt is not the right word, but you want it to kind of warm up a little bit. And so you'll take a little ball of the dough, roll it up, and make a snake out of it. And for you addle-minded people, you could think of some other part of anatomy that looks like that too. But you're going to make a snake out of it until it's nice and thin, probably like about that. And then take a knife and you're just going to chop it into little kibble-sized pieces. Spread that out on a cookie sheet. Use some flour to keep it rolling around. And you bake it at 350 degrees for anywhere between 9 and 8 minutes. And then pull them out. They'll be very soft right out of the oven, but then they will harden up as they cool, and they are very delicious. And so yeah, a meese leg, yeah, a wheat tower, yeah, exactly. So what part of the anatomy specifically? Whatever part you wish to imagine, Sim Caesar. I leave that up to your imagination. So that is that's it. That was an hour stream to to be fair, it was more of like a 45-minute stream because we waited for 15 minutes for Caesar to land his Comanche. But that was the making of the Pfeffernüsse dough, and the next one will be the baking of it. So hope that was fun and informative, and if you guys want to try this yourselves, again, I posted the recipe on Discord and actually on Twitter. I did not post the ingredients on Instagram because I wasn't sure how that was going to work very well. It's more for pictures. But yeah, mostly it's in the announcements on Discord. So there you go. When do we eat? That's right. Loviz coming in with a tier 1 sub. Thank you for 14 months, my friend. Very kind of you. When are you going to mail out the finished cookies to your subscribers? No. See, that's why I did this in a way where you can follow along, and I'm teaching you how to make your own, so you can have a little bit of mousse at your house for the holidays. Have I ever made a boken? I can't even pronounce that. What is that, wormhole? I don't think I have, because I don't even know what that is. That's the first time I'm seeing that word. Boken Pujis? Boken Pujis? Maybe? Now we watch you clean the bowl. It's a very nice Dutch cookie. I gotcha. Goat's feet. Is that what it translates to? So these translate to pepper nuts, even though there are no nuts in them, but they look, I think they're the size of nuts is where they get that from, is my guess. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the cooking stream. Any questions about the process or anything else for that matter? Crispy cookie with a cream filling and dipped in chocolate dipped ends. Ooh, that does sound good. This was a very entertaining hour for you. Well, I'm glad, Dr. Cat. That's what I do. I am a content creator. I try to entertain. Can you show us again? No, but the VOD will be available for a while. And actually, I'll put this up on YouTube, so it'll be available into perpetuity. So you'll have this forever. So you can go back and reference it every year and make your own Pfeffernüsse. Fun story. When the Swedish chef comes walking in a Muppet Family Christmas, at one point, in a Muppet Family Christmas, and he's in the kitchen, and he says, "Gobble, gobble, Pfeffernüsse." So, in his Swedish gibberish, he actually says Pfeffernüsse. Until you get rid of the YouTube... Why would I get rid of the YouTube channel? I have no reason to get rid of the YouTube channel. Why would I do that? Speaking of the YouTube channel, there is a very nice McDonnell Douglas MD80 Masterclass tutorial series now on my YouTube channel. So if you always want to learn how to fly the Mad Dog, and it got rave reviews from Captain Tim, so you know it's good. I don't know, but on TV there's usually a commercial break, and then the dough is magically ready afterwards. I know, and I could have done that magic had I thought ahead, and like at the beginning of the week thought I could do this then, but I did not. I also could have just chosen to do this on Wednesday and made the dough ahead of time and made more dough, and I could have done that too, but... do I roll my Pfeffernüsse and powdered sugar? No. There are some traditions where they do that. They're usually the bigger cookies. These ones, when they're really small like this, are traditionally not. Those ones are also usually very what's the word? Like probably more the consistency of like a brownie. These will crunch. These are more of a crunchy kind of deal. So yeah, these don't go in the powdered sugar. What I like to do with them is either just eat them straight, or I actually like to have them with a little bit of various cheeses. I've found that Havarti, Gouda, and regular cheddar all brings out the flavor of the Pfeffernüsse very nicely with the cheese, so it's very cool. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Mustafa 83 is the... Does that work? Does that actually go there, Mustafa 83? I guess it does. Okay, cool. That's right. Someone else has the keyword Mustafa, and it has nothing to do with mooses or anything. It's really sad. I want his name. I don't know why he has that. Most of them were moose streamed on YouTube. Yeah, that's right. I started streaming on YouTube back in 2017, and after about a year and a half, I switched over to Twitch, and so I still do occasional videos there, but they're not streams. They're like this, tutorial videos and stuff. But they're very few and far between. Yeah, Havarti is lovely. It's got a nice taste to it. I really like doing it with Gouda. Gouda has a really nice taste with the Pfeffernüsse. But cheddar works too. So I did say doo-doo. It's true. Pfeffernüsse and Havarti is a party. Exactly, Scotty Bob. All right, well, if there are no other questions about what we just did and the lives we lost, then I will end the stream here. It was fun hanging out with you guys and doing a bit of a different style stream tonight, a little cooking stream. And like I said, part 2, I will probably do part 2 Wednesday evening, because that'll be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I typically want to make it so it's fresh for the Thanksgiving, because I'll bring it over to my parents. And so it's always fun to do that, so... Probably what I will do. We probably will stream on Monday night, not the cooking, but the just regular Flight Sim stream, because it's going to be a weird week again with Thanksgiving. Friday should be normal, but obviously Thanksgiving, Thursday I won't be streaming because I'll be with family. But we should be normal for Friday night and for Saturday. So I think I will do a stream on Monday to do that. So yeah, thanks Sim Caesar for the bit, and thank you for the raid. I appreciate you bringing all your friends over. It's nice to have and I had 5 bits toward the new spatula. Yay! I'm well on my way. I wonder how much spatula I can get for 5 pennies. That's good. Yep, we'll see you guys Monday night. Illinois State Aviation, by the way, you won the giveaway earlier this afternoon. I haven't had a chance to message you yet, so let me know what you want to do. You want to bank it? You want to give it? You want to get us sub to another channel on Twitch? And Sim Caesar, make sure you whisper me who I should gift a sub to in your honor, so Dr. Cat doesn't find out. When am I going to make the Pfeffernüsse? Good night, Ned. We're gonna make the final bit of it on Wednesday night, Wednesday evening. I probably let's see. I'm not sure if I'll start it. I can't. So here's the thing. So let's ask chat. Let's see what you guys prefer. I can do it on Wednesday afternoon because typically we close the office around noon on Wednesday, and so I'll probably be out of there around noon, and I can get home and we can start baking around like 2. So I could do it like 2 o'clock Pacific time on Wednesday, or I could do it in the evening. I only thought evening might be better because more people are around and available if they want to do that. But if that would work better, because I know, Sim, you normally do jump seat on Wednesday evening, so that would be a nice way to kind of get around that and do that ahead of time. So I just don't know how many people would be able to tune in and watch if we did it that early. So so in chat here, if you guys... I'm saying it would be early afternoon. If I did it in the evening, it would be like we do it now. It would be like... That's true. If I did in the evening, I'd probably just do it like 7 again. So we do it kind of toward the end of Sim's stream. So maybe, yeah, let's just do that. So Sim, we'll do that. We'll do it at 7 again. So that way you guys, as you're finishing up jump seat stuff, if you guys want to raid for the baking part of it, then you can do that. That makes more sense. Because you do a 4 o'clock for that as well. So jump seat is only 1 flight, so that should be no... Oh, perfect. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we'll plan 7 o'clock Wednesday will be the part 2 of this. And yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for coming, hanging out. Thanks for the subs. Again, Loviz. Let me see if I can figure out who else did this. Dr. Cat came in with 99 bits. Sim Caesar with a bit. Skybob 5 bits. Loviz with the tier 1 resub. Sim Caesar with another bit. Dr. Cat with a 1 month sub to Real Tyrogoth. Dr. Cat with a sub to Moose Cook You. And let's see, what else did we have here? House 75 gifted a tier 1 to Spundot. Sim Caesar gifted a tier 1 to Peter Mooney. Sky Dehati resub for 31 months. And I think that gets us back to where we were. Yep. So thank you guys for the generosity. Really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Always a lot of fun. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and a fantastic Sunday. Enjoy the fly-alongs with Sim Caesar tomorrow. Take care, everybody.